In the mist-veiled coastal town of Grayharbor, time moved slowly, dragged down by sea salt and sorrow. Generations of the Calhoun family were born and buried here, each tied to the sea not by love, but by something darker. The town folk spoke in hushed tones of the rotten lure, an old wives' tale, they said. But the Calhouns knew better. The narrator's grandmother vanished one stormy night, walking straight into the waves. Her husband followed weeks later, his body washed ashore, waterlogged and wide-eyed, mouth still parted as if trying to scream. The narrator's mother, Lilith, carried the weight of these tragedies like anchors on her soul. She often sat by the window, watching the gray tide and humming a lullaby that always felt off. She spoke of dreams, of whispers in the waves. "Don't ever follow the song," she'd whisper. "It doesn't call you, it chooses you." But as the years passed, the song returned to her, and one winter morning, she left the narrator a note. "You were worth the price." Her departure broke the narrator's father. A once proud fisherman, he turned to drink and raged at the sea like it had stolen his soul. He'd mutter strange things at night, something about eyes in the waves, laughter under the boat, and the slick ones who slithered in dreams. The narrator began to see it too, reflections that didn't match reality, shadows writhing behind waves, a song no radio could play, yet always heard just before sleep. One day, the narrator found an old journal hidden beneath a floorboard belonging to their great-grandfather. It spoke of a creature called She Who Hungers, a siren not of beauty, but of rot. Unlike myths, she did not lure men with promises but with pain. She fed on suffering. She whispered bargains, grief for survival, blood for peace. He wrote, "It's not the sea that takes them, it's her, and she always gets what she's owed." Drunk and desperate, the father dragged the narrator out before dawn. "We end this today," he said. The sea was too quiet. No gulls, no breeze, just a low humming, almost like weeping. Hours passed in silence. Then, the line on the rod went taut. The father reeled and reeled, but what breached the surface was not a fish. It was a corpse, bloated, familiar. It was the narrator's mother. The narrator screamed. The father dropped the rod. Then came the sound, the lullaby. Sweet, crooked, impossible. Faces surfaced all around the boat grandmother. Uncles, strangers, all smiling, all rotting. The father leapt overboard, whether to flee or to follow. The narrator never knew. Paralyzed by fear, the narrator heard the voices rise. "Come home, come home." The song came from the depths of their own blood, ancient and familiar. They leaned overboard, saw their own reflection smiling back, but it wasn't them. It had no eyes. The narrator awoke on the sand, drenched and alone. No boat, no father, just the note again, soaked and torn. "You were worth the price." At home, no one believed their story. They moved away, but the ocean followed. Sometimes, in a puddle, a sink, even a mirror, they'd hear the song. Years later, the narrator returned to Grayharbor. They weren't sure why. But as the tide came in, the singing started again, softer this time, hungrier. They stepped forward, knowing the price, knowing the song wasn't finished. Because the lure doesn't end, it waits. And when it's your turn, you'll follow it too. The sea never gave my mother back, but it gave me something worse, the truth. Some lures don't need bait. They sing, they whisper, and once you hear them, it's already too late. If you've heard it too, don't look to the waves. They're already looking back. For more real tales that blur the line between truth and terror, subscribe before the next story finds you. This has been another descent into the unknown, brought to you by Nightfall and